Okay, so I'm just gonna cut to the chase. But before I cut to the chase, please, I'd kindly like to ask you to like and subscribe. Like if you agree, dislike if you don't. I'll listen to your comments, I read them all the time. Subscribe if you like what I do and want to see more like it. Anyways, time to push this along. So today I'm here to talk about Zerofangs, not Xenophanes, Zerofangs. Uh, Zerophane sucks in my opinion. Like, okay, in my last video about Sonic beating all the EXEs, that he is stronger than all the EXEs, I got a lot of comments saying, what of Zerophanes? What of Zerophanes? What of Zerophanes? Okay, here's your answer to Zerophane. The writing suck. Okay, the writing sucks. Now, I'm not, no offense to the actual writer, you're not a bad person. I'm just saying that there's a lot of questionable, like the idea is there, there's just a lot of questionable decisions. For example, how did Eggman make his own version of like the ultimate life form, a living being? How did he make that? Because I don't know if you know this, but in order to make Shadow someone who is equal to Sonic, they already needed the DNA of the Black Arms, which is a literal alien race, just to make someone who's equal to Sonic. So how did Eggman make something this powerful from in his basement, bro? From his basement. That is my first issue already, and the story just started. My next issue: how did Zerofangs? No, okay, sorry, because this is not scripted. That's why. So I'm reading it as I go. I've already read it, but I'm just reading it as I go. How the hell is Zerofangs able to do all this? Someone make it make sense. So, how did Zerofangs leave Eggman's, like, his base, his grasp? Eggman is intelligent. If Eggman heard one of his machines telling him do this, and then one day they just left, Eggman's gonna track that machine down and he's gonna kill it. I don't know who you think Eggman is. He would have found Zerofangs and he'd have killed him. He wouldn't have been twiddling his thumbs and dorking his wiener in his base. Okay, let me chill out. I'm getting too heated. I don't even know why I'm getting so heated. Like, I genuinely don't know why I'm getting so heated. My bad. But yeah, what I'm saying is Eggman wouldn't just be like whacking his shit in his base. He'd actually like be looking for Zerofangs because he's a defective slave. Pretty much. My next issue: how did he steal the Master Emerald from Knuckles? We've seen time and time again that Knuckles is like really strong. And he's also hyper aware. As we've seen in Sonic Adventure, he's a very light sleeper. So he'd be able to like tell if Zerofangs was near because he's a light sleeper, he'd be able to know. And we've also seen that if the Master Emerald is in danger, it's no longer like Sonic 3 and Knuckles where he just like argued to Eggman. If the Master Emerald is in danger, Knuckles will literally, as we saw in, which game was it again? I'm trying to think of this off the top of my head. Yeah, Sonic Adventure 2. Knuckles will legitimately just like destroy the Master Emerald and scatter the pieces across the world. Which is like a reasonable solution in my opinion, but I don't know how Zerofangs managed to steal it from Knuckles. Knuckles would have broken the emerald easily. And then, how did he manage to take down Sonic, Shadow, and Knuckles? Was it that was sent to find him? Sonic, Shadow, and Knuckles. First of all, wouldn't Silver be there? Because of like a plot point later in the story, you'll understand why I'm saying Silver would be there. But so like, first of all, wouldn't Silver be there? Silver would be in the timeline at this point in time. Because again, it takes place around Sonic's forces, and I can prove it to you later why. Silver would be there, and Silver would have helped them fight Zerofangs. Zerofangs wouldn't have been able to take away the Master Emerald because remember guys, Knuckles has like Takal's Prayer, which when within like an effective range, he can pretty much just shut off the Master Emerald. He did it in Sonic Adventure 2. I should have the scene on screen of him going to the Master Emerald and saying Takal's Prayer to stop Final Hazard, but Final Hazard still managed to get that last second teleport off. And then, yeah, he wouldn't have been able to do it. And Silver would have been there, and I feel like Silver would have definitely changed the outcome. And lastly, how did Eggman have both the Paradox Prism and the Phantom Ruby at the same time? Because the comments are trying to say that it's like post Frontiers, but it can't be. Because if the Phantom Ruby is still in Eggman's possession, then it would be around Sonic Forces, Sonic Mania, but because Shadow is here, it's around Sonic Forces, right? It would be around before Sonic Forces because the Phantom Ruby is within Eggman's possession. But how would the oh my god, I'm struggling to say. How the Paradox Prism also be in his possession at the same time? Because you have to remember, wasn't the Paradox Prism like teleported to a random place by Shadow? And another thing, because this takes place around Forces, it was shown to us in the IDW comics that around this time, Eggman was working on Neo Metal Sonic, like a second body for him that's even stronger than the last one. I feel like Eggman would have deployed Neo Metal Sonic to stop this. He'd have deployed Neo Metal, the Death Egg, and the Egg Dragoon all at once. And if he found a defective robot and he saw Sonic, Shadow, Silver, because Silver would be there due to the events of Forces, and Knuckles all trying to fight him, I feel like he'd instantly deploy Neo Metal Sonic to join them, and he'd join the fight himself. There are just so many plot holes. It feels like every time the writer couldn't think of a way to make the story work, they just say, so Zero-Phanes did this, so Zero-Phanes did that. No offense to the writer, I'm not insulting your skill. I really am not. But I'm just saying it feels like you were just like trying to like rush the story along because you couldn't figure out a way to legitimately get Zero-Phanes to do all this. I mean, it was still an okay read though. So anyways, yeah. See, I do like the idea of the prequel though. And see, if you want to talk to me, I like made a Discord server or something. It's in the description.